All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym, and the QBO gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new exercises for you to practice and complete, and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be working in the September strength training section where we really focus on prepayments. At the top here is a little video that tells you what's going to be going on that month for you as it relates to Craig's business. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive quiz to test your knowledge. And then at the bottom here are all of the exercises within this section. So today we're going to practice setting up a customer deposit. You will need to be in the sample company. If you're not sure how to get into it or get your own free QBOA account, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. So our scenario today is that Craig just met up with John Melton to discuss a fall cleanup at his residence. Craig has collected a deposit that you'll need to record for this. In other exciting news, Craig landed his first snow removal client, Cool Cars. Craig will be clearing their customer parking lot and the sidewalks at the dealership. Craig has collected an upfront deposit and asks you to bill against it as the services are delivered. Finally, Craig special ordered some unusual patio stone for Kate Whalen's new hardscaping project from Norton Lumber and Building Materials. Norton requires a deposit for special orders that you'll need to enter into QBO. For each of these scenarios, a prepayment is going to be required. Over the course of the next few exercises, we'll see how those prepayments are going to be recorded for each case. On this exercise, we are just going to focus on John. So let's start with his cleanup. So Craig met John at his house to discuss a fall cleanup at his residence. He gave him a verbal estimate of $600 for the cleanup, and because John historically had not been the best at paying his bills, Craig asked for him to put a 1/3 deposit down. John gave Craig a check for $200, which Craig deposited right away using his mobile banking app. So let's go ahead and get started with doing this. Click on the plus new button and then select invoice. So here I am in the dashboard for the sample company. Over on the top left corner, you see this plus new button. Select that and then under customers, select invoice. And you will see this form appear. So let's go ahead and fill it out. You will need to add John's prepaid deposit to this invoice. So first we need to turn on this feature in the account and settings. As you may know, you can do this through the gear icon, clicking on that gear icon and then selecting account and settings. However, when you are already inside a transaction, clicking on the gear icon gives you a modified version showing options that are applicable to this transactions. So let's see what that looks like for the invoice. Over here on the top right corner, you see this gear icon. You're going to go ahead and click on that, and you will see this appear. We need to check on the box that says deposit so that we can actually put that in this invoice. Select deposit right here, and then you can go ahead and click on the X up here to get out of this screen. It's really nice to be able to do that. Again, it doesn't show all of the things that you would do if you went on the gear icon from the dashboard. But to do this once you're already in transaction, to be able to do that is super cool. A quick note here too, that by turning this on, it will turn it on for all invoices going forward, just like if you were in that full accountant settings. So let's go ahead and complete this invoice. In the customer field, we're going to select John Melton. So click into the customer, go ahead and start typing in John, and you will see him appear. Go ahead and click on him, and his information is going to show up. In the product service field, we're going to select landscaping, maintenance, and repair since he is doing that fall cleanup. So if you click into it 2 times, I'm going to start typing in maintenance. There it is. And then the description is, again, that fall cleanup. So let's go ahead and edit that here. Highlight over it, delete, and then click on or type in fall cleanup. We are going to put the amount as $600 because that is what Craig had told him would be the cost, the overall cost of it. So in the amount field, in the amount field, we're going to do 600. Tab over, you see that that is what the balance has been updated as. Now we need to include that deposit, that $200 deposit that John had given him. You'll note that when we enter the deposit, 3 new fields are going to appear in the middle of the screen. Like any received payment, we need to track the method, the reference number, if it's applicable, and the account. So let's add that $200 into the deposit. If you scroll down here, you see this box next to deposit. Click into it and type in 200. If you tab over, you will see now that the balance due has updated to $400. That's 600 minus the deposit is 400. And as I mentioned before in the previous screen, when we added this deposit, we had these 3 new fields appear. So now we need to go ahead and complete those. In the payment method field, we're going to select check because remember that is how he paid Craig. So click on the little arrow here and then select check. The reference number is the check number. So the check number is 4. So type in 4. And then deposit 2 is going to be the checking. Again, and that is usually you would put this in undeposited funds when you have a check, but since Craig deposited it right away, we can just go ahead and select checking. So in the deposit 2, click on the arrow, select checking. And now we just simply need to save and close. So let's go ahead and click on the green save and close button. And that invoice has now been saved. But let's take a really quick look at the invoice in John's account to see how the transaction appears. To do this, we need to, in the left-hand nav bar, mouse over customers and leads and then click on customers. So let's do that. Over here, hover over customers and leads and then select customers. And now we need to click on John Melton to see his customer profile. So scroll down until you find John. There he is. Just click anywhere on that line. And now his customer profile will appear. If you happen to get any pop-ups that appear, just go ahead and click out of them. If not, then we'll just continue on. We're going to take a look at the invoice that we just recorded. QBO automatically labels it as a partial payment, and you'll see that only $400 are due on the invoice since the deposit was recorded. So here you will see that here is that invoice that we just created. The amount was $600. It was partially paid, and now there is only $400 due. And there you go. You have now recorded a customer deposit. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. We're going to move through the strength training section where we focus again on those prepayments with our next exercise where we receive payments from customers. And I will see you in the next video.